Hello, good evening, and welcome to another night stamping with Sandra. Now this evening I'm getting ready here to share with you another fancy fold. If you followed me on my Facebook on Sunday night, you'll know that this week I am using the Sunshine and Rainbows and the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. Okay, I'm just going to flick my comments across so I can see when somebody joins me. Hopefully I'm in the right place and Facebook will behave itself tonight. I had an incident the other day where Facebook thought I'd done something wrong, and then I identified myself and they said I hadn't. So let's hope it's all going to go swimmingly today. So let me get the screen down onto the desk for you, and I will remind you of what the stamp set is that we're using. So the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set in here, and I've also got my dies in here as well. So I've not used many of the stamps yet, it's the dies I've used mainly. But I have pre-cut some pieces ahead of time. They're there if we need some more pieces though. So I'll pop that over the side there. So my card for this evening, I'm going to be making a new to me card. I haven't made one of these before. This is just a nice simple card front on here. But on the inside, I've got a little angle fold pop-up. Okay, and it just pops up. I've cut the two rainbows from the designer series paper. So if you're joining me for the first time, I am just going to highlight some of the papers from Sale-A-Bration. I have one bag that's decidedly scruffy because it's been used quite a lot and I've got lots of scraps in it. But these ones are just some of the designer series papers in the free set from Sale-A-Bration. So these are beautiful, and even if you don't have the stamp and die bundle, they are so well worth getting. They really are. They're one of my favourites, and I'm kind of stockpiling those at the moment. So there's my simple front card. Could be just nice as a card front on its own, and then inside you've got a nice pop-up. So I'm going to give you some little hints and tips with the pieces as we go along. So let's start with my card base. Now I've gone for Bermuda Bay. Now this is half a sheet of cardstock, and just get my bone folder. There's half a cut sheet of cardstock. So in your market, if my American friends join me now or later, then it's just half a sheet, and I've scored it in half as well. So that's the starting point, and that's bone folded along the edge there. So I'll pop that to one side. Now my next piece, I can't remember if I've cut this ready or not, so let's just measure. This is slightly smaller. No, it's 21. So this is the whole width of our A4 at 21. I want this to come down to 20. So I'm taking a little bit off. So if you're metric, you're going to take 1 centimetre off. If you're imperial, you'll take half an inch off. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is score this at 10, because that's the measurement I need today. And then I'm going to move this along. Now you can either take the leg out here, or you can just do your maths and think, actually, if I line up here on the score line on the 10, then I'm going to have 10 in the right place as well. So it's entirely you how you like to do it. The other way I often do is, I know I need to take 1 centimetre off, so line it up on the one there and take it off that way. Okay, so that's that piece. Now I'm going to leave this out because I don't believe I've scored it. Look, I've scored it instead of cut it. I'll just use the right blade because I scored there and I'm cutting this. We don't need that piece, but it could come in handy as a scrap. So this is going to be put to one side just for a moment. Hi Shaz, lovely to see you. And I haven't got my Coastal Cabana layer for the front, so I'm just going to cut those for you. That white one is another card and it's going in the centre. Then we need another piece of white. I'll just come back to, I'm just going to take these out, Shaz, and then I will show you the sample again. So this is the white layer, and that's going to be folded, and that's going to go inside. So we'll just score that edge there. Okay, so that's going to go inside there like so. And I'm going to cut these two layers here. I'm going to cut this one to 13/8 that way by 10 centimetres this way. These are just going to be my layers for the front of the card. So that's going to go on the front there like so, and that should be nice and even. And then I need a piece of the white as well. I've got the inside sorted, but I forgot to cut the extra pieces here. So again, this is just coming down half a centimetre, so we're 13/3 by 9.5. Okay, then that'll be all my layers cut. Pop them to one side. Abandon them over the side there, should I say. And then this one will come on the front here like that. So that's my second layer. So just going back for Shaz, we're making, this is I'm using the rainbows all this week. So I started on Sunday and this is my Wednesday one. And I'm doing a twisted and angle fold on the inside here. So sometimes you see these where they can be folded that way or this way and just have the corner cut off. But instead of the corner being cut off, you can actually put as another card inside the card. Just gives a little bit of pop-up when people open it, which are quite nice. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. I'm going to start off by doing the front first because it's easier to apply the front whilst it's flat. So I'm going to take that inner one out and I'm going to be working on these two layers. So first of all, I'll just work on this one to start with. I'm going to bring over, let's take those off there, we don't need those yet. I'm going to bring over my pieces of the designer series paper that have got the clouds on them. Now we do have the lovely cloud punch, okay? Now these do match perfectly and I want to encourage you, the purpose of tonight is to encourage you to use as much as you can of this. Some people would think they would come along and only punch out the perfect images. That isn't the case. So I'm going to make a little pile here of pieces. Okay, so yes, you've got the perfect images. So this one will be a perfect. Okay, we'll just take that one there. And it is possible. Oh, glad you like it, Shaz. So I'll have a pile of perfect ones and then a pile of the pieces. So just because of this strip that was left over here, I'll take this one off first. It's quite a big piece. And just going to have that little bit of a shadow around there in the white. And move it over slightly. And get that lined up. And then I'm going to punch that piece out. So that's in my pieces pile there. And I can take some of this away here. What I didn't get to the table was my post-it notes. That little piece is too squitty. That's too small. So we will take that one off. And that one. Okay, so if I bring that along now, this one here is another good piece that I'm going to use. Can you see that? And so I'm going to line this up on here. And I hold the punch very gently, just half hold it and make sure that I'm happy with the small border and then I'll punch it. All of those pieces can be used, even these ones up here if you like. I'll probably use this side one. Let's hold my breath and just punch that one out. They look quite tiny, but you'll see as I do the front of my card, if you didn't catch it when I showed you the sample. Okay. So it's quite a simple fold, but it's just, just needs to, I won't do that one. There's not much really showing of the cloud shape. This one has got a very tiny slice off the top there. So I'm putting that in my pieces. And this one, I need a post-it note for this, but I would stick that onto a post-it note and I would cut that one out as well. They normally live on the table, but I know they're in the drawer the other side of the room. So I won't worry with that one tonight. Okay. So there's another piece. I'll leave that one for now. And what else can we get out of here? We certainly get this piece. If you leave a piece on there, you've actually got something to use as a handle, which is where my post-it notes would come in handy because I just stick this on the sticky end of a post-it note. I'm just going to take this piece on the side and I'm using the strip in my hand to hold it steady. It's moved. There we go. And I think I'm probably going to have enough there now. I'll put those to one side. Just take off the scrappy bits there. Okay, I'll get one more perfect out of here. Look, shall we just get that one? We've got a couple of nice full ones. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to leave those there for now. Then I'm going to come on to my other mat. So I'll leave those underneath at the moment. Then this mat, I've already cut my dies from here. But I wanted to just point it out to you. Both of the dies are one piece and they cut out four pieces. Okay, here and then on this one. This is the one I used today. I've got a few of the clouds cut as well. So what I tend to do, there's multiples. I will cut one in each colour. So by cutting one in each colour, you've actually got 4 rainbows already, so you can just jumble up the order. You've been using it this week, have you? Well done. Hi Louise, nice to see you. So they're my 4 different rainbows, and they're ready to go basically. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually start by just uncover my card from under my mats. I'm going to place my rainbow on here first. On this one I actually put it after I'd done the clouds, but I think it might be better to actually put it down first so I know where I'm going. So which one shall I go for tonight? I think I'll go for this one because that's going to merge with the clouds on this card. So I'm going to pop that fairly high up there, and I have my Tombow. Just going to run this along here, just very, very gently, just a tiny little squeeze, and then that's going to go in the center. Just make sure I'm on camera. Yeah, you can see me. So I'm going to place that just a little bit higher than half. Make sure it's nice and even both sides, so it's straight, and then the rest will be guided by what is already there. Okey-doke. So you're loving this bundle as much as I am. I've got 2 the same there. I've taken it off the wrong one, haven't I? Oh dear. What I'm going to do, I've taken it off that one instead. I'm just going to place that on the backing here. I can use that again later. I will take that one out of the way so I don't get tempted to use it. So that's going to come inside there. Hi Jane, nice to see you. There we go. Yes, I'm loving this set. I was late to the party in getting it and then wish I hadn't. I do love it. It's one of those, I can't have everything in the catalogue, much as I'd like. But the papers grew on me. The papers were just, I'm loving them. So I thought, well, if I'm going to have the papers, I might as well. So that's that one. And I think Jackie and I are going to use this. We've changed our mind on, Jackie's now getting this, and I think we've changed our mind on our cuppa and card. So we might be using the stamp set from here, and obviously you've got an upgrade if you want to add the dies on. So sometimes when you cut your dies, excuse me leaning over here, that's not a stiff brush, was it? This isn't the stiffest one that I use, but it'll probably do. Sometimes you get little slithers round here when you cut your dies, so I like to have a brush on hand, and I would just go in both directions, and there are little pieces that just come off there. You can just rub those off. If it was when your blades need changing on your trimmer, you can see little bits on there. It's probably so fine you can't see on the camera, but there are some little bits coming off there, so that just takes them off, quite handy. If it's your blade needs sharpening or a new blade, then what I do is use the just a white nail block. It looks dirty because I've been using it on black card here. Love your long handle tweezers. Yes, you can. What I would do is Stampin' Up don't sell tweezers, so I can send you the link. It is with a company over here in UK in Peterborough, so they are normally permanently on reduced from £4.50 down to £3. If you spend, it used to be £10 and you got free shipping. So I love these. They've got a pin in here, drawing pin. So if I just take a piece of scrap out of the waste bin here, and if I squeeze that, good for putting brads in. We used to have brads, but if you need to make a hole in something and thread, just bring that through. Can you see on the side there? There's actually a hole in there, and it's made by that drawing pin in the side there. Let's come back there. Okay, but it supports the card, so it won't actually buckle. If you go and put a pinhole down, you will actually push the card down. So that's quite a useful one. And I call it a hockey stick because it's got the angle there. I use this upside down. You'll see me use that a lot. And I get tweezers. Gems. Sorry, I'm forgetting my worms words these days. So I use that as a hockey stick just to pick those gems up. We have the take your pick tool as well. And if that's out, I do use that one. So now we're just going to change my card to the mat underneath. because I had some bits prepared, you see, so I made it nice and easy. So these are my pieces, and this is where I'm going to show you why you can keep using these odd pieces. So I will just place these on the outside edges of the card, because this is a straight edge, but I've also got a straight edge there, so that one could go in the corner. Okay, can you see how perfectly? I'm just going to zoom you in because I think you're too far away. Oh, come back. Just zoom you into my mat a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? See me? And there we go. So all of these pieces can go on there. So I would just dot them around where you'd like them. You can have the cloud over the top of the rainbow. These ones here, you could have that upside down if you wanted, somewhere along there, but we'll wait and see what we're going to do. That's the one that's got a tiny slither along the top, so I won't use that one today. So maybe just different heights, and maybe have that come across the bottom of the rainbow might be nice. And what else have we got? Oh, we've got the one with hearts on. We do need to have the hearts, don't we? So I quite like this covering the bottom of the rainbow, so I think I might do that. This one might be too heavy, so I might put this piece up there. That could be the tail end of one, couldn't it? So it's just playing, really, having fun and putting them where you'd like them to be. We have different patterns as well. We've used that one up the top there. This is a different pattern, so we could just have that. What I might do is just take a slither off the bottom there, grab my trimmer. You kind of want to fill your white space, but not, you know, you leave some white space, but take a little bit off there. And then leave that one at the bottom. I think I might do that. We're going to have a sentiment come through here, and it can come over the top of those along the bottom of the rainbow. So I think I'm going to do that one first. Yes, please, for the link. Yeah, I'll pop that in there. It's a lot easier that way. For my accounts, just trying to talk through the accounting about this going digital. If I buy and then send on to people, it's just giving me turnover that I don't make a profit on other people's things, that I just do it to help people out. But that's actually distorting my figures. So, and he says, well, why would you? It's your time and your effort, your you know, I pass on any post or give them by hand, but it's basically, why do it? Just pass on the link. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to cover up the bottom of the rainbow there, and then make sure that this one is flush with the side. They can overlap. It really doesn't matter. You could have another one over there. It doesn't matter at all. So this one's just going to come along the bottom, not centrally, because that's a bit off. Put that one there, I think. And you see me regularly now. I am known as one of the groups as Tweezer Lady, because I use them so much, and they're just so handy. They're just, I can't do these back to front ones. You know, the back to front ones, I don't like those ones. So this is my card panel, and I'm going to put this onto the front of my card here. Okay, like that. Don't need these anymore, so I'm just going to take those off. I won't throw them away. They will go with my pieces to use on another card. Okay, so next we come to the back layer. Because this is going to be matted, looking for my punch, I'm going to gut the middle of this one because nobody's going to see it. So all you're going to see is a little border. So I'm going to punch one out there, and I'm going to come up here with another few images, making sure just to keep clear of the border. One either side, and then you can do another one in the middle. Okay, all of those could be used on another card. Okay, just keep them all together. I tend to keep a little cello bag in the in my stamp set, and I just put my extra little bits in there. So when you go to that set, because you want a rainbow, a cloud, you'll already be there. I make the mistake of putting a dollop of glue in the middle. Now, because I've got holes in here, that won't really work today because I'll get it onto my mat. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up there. So that's one layer, and then we'll attach this, and then we'll go to the middle of the card and do the fancy fold piece. Okay, so that through the middle there. You have both front and back tweezers. I don't like back to front ones. They don't make sense to me. You want to hold it, you want to grip it. Okay, you don't want to let go to hold it. Do you see what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, just seems a bit strange. So now we're ready to prep the middle piece of my card. So I'll get rid of the mat for now. I need to get my templates, just a sec. You can just mark on the card. Bear in mind this is going to go on the inside of your card, or you can actually make yourself a couple of templates. So if you do a 6 centimetre square and cut it in half, borrowed but not returned. Now got to buy some new ones. Yeah, I think it's £10 minimum spend, Jane, to get free postage, but they might have changed. So this was 6 centimetres and I've cut that one in half, and then this one was 5 centimetres and I've cut that one in half. Okay, you got 2 sets, you only need the one. So I've labelled those there. So I'm going to place this in the centre on here. This is my folded edge that's going to go on the middle of my card. And I'm going to just mark the top and the bottom. And because this is the piece we're going to fold, if we turn it over, we want to do exactly the same in this corner on the folded edge. Okay, it's going to go on both sides, there and there. Okay, that one we'll need for the designer series paper in a little while. So those need to be scored across the corner on both sides. So we're going to bring this in. Now I like to keep my hand on the biggest part. Don't try holding this little bit and having it hanging off the end, because when you shut this you've got very little to get hold of. So turn it round, keep your hand, always try and hold the biggest piece, and you're going to line up. I hope you can see those. I've got 2 pencil marks on there. So the pencil marks will be in my track here. Make sure you carefully place that down, and you want your scoring tool, not the cutting one, the light grey one. So we're going to go over that a few times. Okay, then we're going to flip it over, and we've got the same on the back. That has actually scored through. If you press hard enough you can see it through, but we want it to shape nicely, so I'm going to go that side as well. So you only need to rub out your pencil marks on, I think they will come down, we'll see anyway, we'll shape it first. So these pieces on the inside here, we want to tease these to come in like so, and we want this one to tease inwards like so. So I find by putting my nails along the track here where I've scored, and just tease that and tease that one, okay, just encouraging it to come where you want it to, and then when you poke this in it is automatically going to come over here. Okay, so I'm just going to line these up on the edges and make sure my corners are square, and then I'm going to go over this with my bone folder. Okay, make sure I've gone over all of that, and I'll turn it over and go along there as well. So here is our pop-up fold piece. Okay, now you could leave your card like that, so you measure whatever depth you want in there. That I just found that to be a nice size, so you could just leave it like that, and that is your card, and you could have it that way up, and you could pop it up and it explodes this way. Or I thought I wanted to be different tonight, so I wanted to decorate the front as well nicely, so I've done it as a card in a card, if you like. So our next piece is going to be, I'm going to pop that in there just for now. We're going to cut designer series paper to go on here and here, and then we're going to cut off the triangles here, but we need to then trim those down slightly to give us the border. Sounds confusing, but honestly it's not. So I've taken a couple of sheets, another couple out of that set. These are the rainbows and sunshine and rainbows Sale-A-Bration, which are breeding in my house at the moment. I have a few, and I'm going to cut these. Just be careful if you've got a one-way design. I'm using this one because I think it looks a bit like clouds. Can you see that? There's just some little details on there. So I'm going to bring that down so you can see it. So my designer series paper, I'm going to cut 2 pieces, and they're going to be 9.5 this way. Okay, you won't get 2 out of 1 sheet, sadly. So 9.5 that way, and then 13.3 the other way. So find 13.5 and come back a couple. Okay, so those pieces will go in my bag of bits because I do use them. So this, you should find that this would fit. If that card was flat, it would fit inside here with a nice little border. All right, so that would come down there nicely like that. So pop that to one side and do the other one. So we have 9.5 again the one way going that way, and that can go in the bag, and 13.3 this way. There we go. So that's that one. Now the other template, remember we had a 5 centimetre template. I've worked these out for you so that you don't have to worry about it, but I've made this one. I want to have, can you see white on white there? I want to have a little bit of a border around here, and I want to have a little bit of a border across here. So I'm going to cut those now for you. We're going to start by measuring these. If I turn them over so we can put pencil marks on the back. Okay, we're going to measure up here. And what did I write down? 3.5 centimetres in from this end. You'll be left with, so 3.5 in from there, the outside edges, and 3.5 in from there. You are doing this symmetrical, so as long as you do the same on the outer edges, you could even put a little cross on there. That one's coming away and that one's coming away. And then you're going to come up here. Make more sense if it looks like that. We'll switch them over later. So that's this piece here. It is that way, sorry. That's that way coming off, and we'll switch them later. And then on this side, we want to come up here 7.5 centimetres, I think. Yep, 7.5. So I'm going to line this up on the edge, and then I'm going to mark at 7.5. Okay, it's basically coming that bit the same side. So let me just check, because I think that would work. Yeah, you could put that on there, and you've got your 6 centimetres there and 6 centimetres there. So you don't really have to measure. So you could just do that and that, the same as we did before, there and here. Okay, so they're your 2 pieces. Now we're going to cut away those corners. So we'll do the same. We hold the big piece, and we're going to go from this corner to this corner. So the points, they're the pencil marks where you've just marked up. We're going to line them up on the side of the trimmer here, so they're on the blade. Cut that off. Now if you don't trust yourself and you want to check, you can then lay one of those in there and make sure that you've got the right shape. Okay, you can see that one. And then we're going to do the same the other side. And we're going from that mark to this mark here. You probably, with stripes, you probably won't see that on the screen. But just trust me, I'm just resting both of those pencil dots on my cutting rake. Okay, and then this one will come that side. So we've got a pair, okay, with just a small border around the sides. Okay, we'll do these 2 pieces first, and then we'll come back and stick them down. And then the hard work is done, and it's just decorating. So I'm going to place this on the corner. Just to let you understand how it's going to work, we want these corners to go on here. If you trust me, on the right side, you want to have them that way on. So because of the one-way design. So we want that to be there, but we're leaving a piece of a gap here and there. So we need to cut a little piece off here. Now, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. You could cut this like off one side, but then you'll be left with an odd-shaped triangle. So I do like to mark that one there. And the pattern's going that way, so we're going to go here. Does that make sense? I hope it does. This is the easiest way that I can find to do it. So the templates can go out of the way. Grab the guillotine back, and again I'm going to put those 2 dots on my trimmer. It's really not complicated. If you choose your whatever size you want for your corner, and then just measure it and come in a little bit less. Your triangle will always be more than what you want. Okay. And again, those strips, if you want those strips, they can go in your bag and use them for strippy things. Just going to take a slurp of water. So, there we go. I'm going to put these down, the larger ones down first. So the larger pieces I tend not to use my tweezers until I've glued. So, and then I get ready to turn, oops, that's done with. Just turn that one over. And Smudge is saying hello, guys. David was supposed to be keeping her under control, but hey, she's not. Oh, so lazy. I've stuck it down and it's not in the right place. Come on. Oh, it's popping up and it won't let me stick this down properly. There we go. I think I misread my measurements there. So this one is going to have the piece that goes that side because the stripes are going that way. We're going to pop that in the corner. I think yeah, that does seem to be, I didn't see my own pencil line properly. Okay, and then we're going to pop that in there. So there's an even border round. Slide that down so you've got the same along all the sides. Okay, let's see how I did on this one. Yeah, that was not so bad. As long as you've got a little white border all the way around, it's good. Let's go around the edge there with the Tombow. And pop that down. And then I'll try and get these ones level. Okay, I like a little bit bigger border then, but hey. Oops a daisy. Where are we going? We're going that way. You can see by your stripes, because your pattern is going the same direction, that's the most likely place to go wrong. Okay, a little bit of that on there. I had another fancy fold lined up, and then I thought I couldn't remember my measurement, so I thought, right, I'm going to do this one first. So now we've put some extra layers on there. I'm just going to re-emphasize those edges. Okay, and that is going to sit inside of that card. So you'll have a little border. If you can see where the middle of my card is, we're going to have this little border all the way around the outside, and then we will shut that card. Okay, this is why I did the front first. So holding that in place so it's nice and even, I'm going to place the Tombow on here. You want to make sure that it doesn't move. Okay, you want to be up to the fold but not over it. Okay, if you go over the fold, it won't move. It won't shut basically. Just getting that absolutely lined up. My fingers, the fingers out of the way, hold that over and press on that gently with clean hands. And then I've got a little bit of glue on there. And then when you open it, this one is attached. And then you're going to do the same here. Okay, this is on up to the fold but not over it. And one side is anchored in place now, so this side will be easier. There we go. And I'm going to close it there. Just press on that like so. And then when we go back to the front and we open our card, when we open it, it will pop up. Okay. You do get a little tiny bit of a gap in here because it can't be perfectly into the center, right into the center. It's very hard to get it absolutely flat, but you can press that down on here. So that's good. I'm just going to get, I've got a rubber here. This is our sticky remover rubbers that Stampin' Up used to sell. They don't sell them anymore, but I've got a little bit of glue on there. So once it's dried, you can actually use any soft rubber, but just make sure it's a nice soft rubber. This is one that kind of like picks up the glue. That's why it got black corners on here. It's a shame they did away with them. Okay, but that mark on there has already disappeared, so that's good. It's one of those things it lasts you for years and years and years, so it's not really a consumable. So I'm now going to do my greeting. So the greeting I'm using is the You Make Me Happy. So it's a long skinny one, and then I've put a little something to brighten your day on the inside, but of course you can use whichever stamps you want. So I'm just going to pop that in here. Oh, and we had a couple of clouds as well inside. Just a sec. Okay, and if you haven't got any part ones that the right shape that you want to use, I've got long ones, I haven't got the other ones. So what I'm going to do here is I'll use that one. I'm going to take a couple of these. That's got a straight edge, so I probably won't use that piece, but I'm going to cut that off there. Again, using my trimmer. So where the straight piece is, that's for a top edge. So I get rid of that. Then that can go on this side. And then the other one, I can have a bigger piece as I like. I could have, I'm going this edge, so I want that flat. Just randomly, whatever you want to cut off. So this one can go anywhere along here, wherever you want to put it. Bearing in mind you're going to have a sentiment as well. And then we've got to cut the rainbows out. Sorry, I've moved you off screen. And there we go. So I'm going to pop that one down a little bit because we're going to have rainbows on there in a sec. And then this is the other one. So that's going to go that side. But I didn't put them parallel. Nature, clouds are nature, and nature is never symmetrical. So it wouldn't be directly opposite that. It would be up or down. Pop that one there. Right, and now we're left with the clouds. So pop that out of the way. On here, this paper is fabulous. When I said that if you haven't got the stamp set, or you can't necessarily afford to get the stamp set at the moment, you could actually just cut things out of here. This is a little piece and can be used the same as the clouds. Nothing goes to waste. I'm going to need 2 of these images, so I'm just going to cut up there. And this piece is off the edge there. So what I would probably do here is use the reverse side. That is, if you've got a cloud that you wanted to put over the top of it, you could actually disguise the fact that part of it is missing. Can you see that? If I take that away, can you see? So yes, this was the top of the 6-inch piece of paper, but if you were going to put a cloud over there like so, and just hide that edge, nobody would be any the wiser. Okay, so it's just another little tip for you. Doing well tonight, aren't we? Okay, I don't know how long I've been, 36 minutes, that's not bad. So I'm going to put my glasses on just to do the fussy cutting. So you've seen me, I know you've all seen me, but in case any new people come, I'm leaving the little piece of white border that is everywhere else, and I'm keeping my scissors still and turning my paper. So this is doing the work, and my scissors are just staying still. So I hope you can see me doing that. Okay, so it's coming around there. Smudge has gone away now, Jane, so she's probably got bored of trying to cry for more treats. They had their pedicure today, and she was a little bit of a wriggler. So I do the claw, I cut their claws for them. They've always grown up with me doing them. Save a fortune on vet's bills because you pay an awful lot just to get through the door, don't you? They have a routine that they know that they get treats afterwards. So this piece in the middle, I'm going to take that out as well. And because these are all rounded, can you see those pieces there? They're all finished rounded. I'm going to come in on there and just round that corner just slightly as well and cut that arch out of the middle. Again, my fingers here are going to be moving and they're doing the work. So coming down there, and then I'll just round off that little edge as well. There. We're going to do that all over again with the other one. So come along here. I'll be quicker this time. There we go. So what have you been crafting since last week, since last you caught up with me? What have you been making? Somebody said that they were... Oh, thanks. Who's that? Oh, Joy. Hello, Joy. Our American friends are with us. There we go. Yeah, what have you been doing since the last time we were here? I've had my date brought forward. Did I tell you here last week or on Facebook? I'm going to be in the pop-up studio at Wroxham next week. Now, it's on a week-long contract, and they bring in different artisans each week. And the summer was all full apart from 1 week, so I grabbed that. And then this half-term week came up as a cancellation, so I managed to get in there as well. Because their events kick off this weekend. The schools Joy, our schools break up in Norfolk. They break up different times, but Norfolk is this Friday. They break up for half term, a bit different than in the States. So this is a tourist attraction, and part of their activities there, they have a courtyard of shops, but they're doing lambing season. They've got a petting farm, a junior farm, and I'm going to be there. they've brought it forward because they said, oh, well, actually, you could, instead of David sitting there and just waiting for me all day, he can come high, he can bring up a day early. So we were going to go Sunday. Then I went and got an email to say, you know what, I know I said Sunday, but actually you might as well come in Saturday. So I've got 9 days instead of 7. So I'm really pleased with that. So now this is the tricky bit. In here, however you choose to decorate this, you can go over the outside, because when you think about this, if I just hold up my tweezers, when I fold this down, it's going to come to the inside. So can you see that? It's just going to sit there. So you can do that, but I recommend you don't go over the middle fold. If you go over there like that, that's fine. It will still come back. But then you can't have the other one overlapping it. So you'd have to have at least one of them. They wouldn't be even. So on this one, I did them completely even. So it doesn't have to be even, but I'm just choosing to have this side of that fold. So where that fold with my finger is, I'm going to keep it this side. And I'd like them not to be on the white. I'm going to put them on the blue layer. So that's where I'm going to attach them. So this side is fine, but this side you've got to be careful to leave all this empty. So the best solution I have for you is to have the big ones and your little ones, your dimensions. I must start a new one. There we go. So work out which piece is going to go where. So this piece is going to go there, and I'm actually going to take that one off and put that in place. So we don't want to go over that fold. So if I pop that there, okay, go up to the fold, that one's there. So then we've got this flappy piece here. We need to put one on this end and one in the middle. So I'll bring on my mini dimensionals. If you take the back off first, because you're going to have my lovely tweezers, and then you're going to take that off, that sticky both sides, and we can stick it on the point here of that piece there, and I know that's going to fit there. And then I'm going to do it again with the second one, and then I'm going to look for where I can put it under here, and I can put that just there, and that's going to hold it. Okay, so that one's perfect. So just make sure it plops out when you come back. Okay, like so. And we're going to repeat that all over the other side as well. So I'm going to put a big one in this corner because we know that that's where it's going to be hidden. Okay, take the backing off. When these get sticky, obviously, because I hold a lot of glue with them, all I do is use the isopropanol alcohol. So if you've got some of that, I do recommend you have it because it cleans all sorts. They use it in the electronics industry, and it's a good degreaser, it's a good cleaner. I use it to clean all my scissors, my tools, even tables. I mean, punchers get ink on them as well. Anything that is not going to deteriorate. It's an alcohol based, so you want to just be careful it's not going to damage what you're cleaning. But yes, I use it on my trimmer. Because I've just pressed them down, I've pushed this piece back through, but it plops. It's like so. Okay, so now we're ready on the inside. We're going to get the greeting. Another sip of water. I'm being good today because I'm really dry and quite thirsty. So here's my strip for the long greeting. Now this is a very skinny greeting, but get it that way up, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to put it that way up and it will go on there nicely. So I'm going to use that one for the outside. So this is my Memento ink pad, and because we're only doing it on one of our scraps, I'm sitting at a thread of conversation. Our white scraps, I don't know about you, but my white scraps actually breed. I'm sure they do. I go to bed and I get up in the morning and there's a lot more of them. I think that was Joy. I think that was in the global one, wasn't it? Do more practicing with your tweezers. There we go. Okay, so there's my sentiment. You could stamp it first and then trim it down, but if I've got strips here, scrap strips, I do just tend to use those first. So that one I'm going to just trim the ends in a sec, but while I've got this open, I'm going to use the other one which says a little something to brighten your day. So I'm going to pop this one inside. Now, because I've put these in and stuck them down already, I'm actually going to put that on. I've zoomed you in too far now, haven't I? Let's just come back out a bit. Can you see that one? Take that off. Are you moving with me? Yes, you're moving. That's it. So I'm going to ink this up again, and I'm going to stamp this in the actual cloud because I just think that's going to look nice in there. Hold it nice and firmly. There we go. That's nice. So move those out of the way. So there's my sentiment, and then you could put a plaque on here if you wanted a die cut or something to pop your little message on. Okay, but then this one, all we're going to do this, and then with some gems, and then we're finished. So I'm snip the ends into the centre and up there and up there. There we go. Take those out. Should put my glasses down really, shouldn't I, instead of being on the top of my head. So snip into the centre, and then from the corner in, and then the corner in. There we go. All of those pieces onto the floor, and I'll hoover them up tomorrow. So there's my piece ready. I'm not even going to do the sponging the edges on this one. I love sponging my edges, but I do think this one, because I didn't know what colour to choose out of the rainbow, and I think actually it looks quite nice just with a white one. I'll take this off, and as I'm picking these up, you can see I'm actually picking 3 up. I pick one, then go to the next and the next and the next. Tap it with my finger to pick it up, and then it's up to you where you want to put your greeting. Because I've covered these up on this one, you'll see on here I've got 2 different versions. So this one I put the clouds on first, and then I ended up with the rainbow came over the top. I quite like this one, but that can actually be lower now, so it's a nice length to go either end. I think I like this better because it's onto the blue, it's not white on white, so I think I like this one better. Last but not least, I have some gems somewhere. Where did I put them? There they go. Okay. So I did use my Pool Party. This is my dark Pool Party blend. Now I did use this, but you can't really see it. But I think on the card it's just got a little something there. So gently just go round those ones and try and colour them. They might not make a lot of difference. The only other thing you could do is to choose a slightly darker shade. So I could actually have used the maybe the Bermuda Bay on that one, which is where the border is. So I'm going to take those 3 randomly and just stick them on anywhere. So it doesn't matter where they go, but odd numbers are good. There we go, and there's your finished card. Like I say, I think I prefer this one to the other one because I've done it with you guys, haven't I? There you go. You start lambing this week. Have you got sheep, Shaz? I grew up on a small farm. You will see lots of photos. Believe me, you will. This is a big, it's a pop-up studio, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good. I think this one's going to be a dummy run for the summer and the October one. But yes, I'm looking forward to it. So I will make sure I've got photos of the lamb. So that's going to be good. So keep following me and they will be on there. So there's my 2 cards. I hope you like those. I will put the photos on there later, and you've got your pop-ups inside with your cut-out ones, okay? So you've got some die cuts and you've got some from the paper, okay? So if I take that off and bring you over, there you go. You're back down to me. Okay, after this goes live, it goes onto YouTube, I can't then see the comments. Some people you can see the comments on. I can't see the comments afterwards, but because I'm watching you as the comments are coming up, then I know you want to see the link for the tweezers, so I can pop that in there. That's fine, and I'll do that at the end. Okay, only about 60 now. Wow, 1,000. Wow. My dad was a small pig farmer, so we grew up with arable and pigs, but that was very small. We only had a few sows, and he'd fatten those up and then they'd go to market. But yeah, it's nice. I'm looking forward to it. It's just one of the elements at the actual centre, so there's lots of shops and activities and bits and pieces there, and the junior farm is just one element. So yeah, wait up and you will see photos, I'm sure. Be really good. Okay, so that's all from me for now. The Sale-A-Bration papers are free, so make sure that you get your hands on those. Those that are customers of mine, just let me know if you've got any orders and you want to have those for free, so you can make the cards I'm making this week. Okay, there will be a nice display. I will be putting up on the tables in the pop-up studio, so that's handy why I've been doing it this week. It's just coincidence, but then I thought that's going to make a nice display. And it also, the reason for doing these colours, I think Jane, you mentioned the colours. I've chosen the colours to go with the paper pumpkin kit, and they will match the Light the Candle set that's out just now. So make sure that you have a look at that. I think it's the best kit ever. I really do. So I will be featuring that this week. Okay, lovely to see you all. And again, if there's anything you particularly like to see next week or on Sundays, then just give me a shout.